Tubi is getting into bed with Chat GPT, and we're diving right into this head scratcher. This week, the Fox Corporation's signature streaming app announced that they were partnering with the AI app to have Chat GPT based discovery for Tubi titles inside of your weird little chat box with Chat GPT. Basically, you can now launch Tubi from inside of the Chat GPT client. Welcome to the channel. This is How to Watch Free TV, home of the Free TV podcast, and we've got to talk about this. Every single technology company, retail outfitter, consumer product outfit, and clueless retailers hopped in on this fad at this point. Tubi itself has had a couple of dalliances with AI in the recent past, but this ChatGPT partnership is a new step in that. However, I think there's one secret downside that someone over at the Tubi strategy team missed in signing on for this collaboration. Hysterically, I've never used ChatGPT or Claude or any of that stuff, so I'm taking both TechCrunch and The Verge, other reputable sites reporting and sort of forming what I can do out of that, because I feel like with Tubi being one of the main platforms for free TV distribution and consumption, we have to talk about a business deal with these kind of massive players. What is that secret downside? Well, first, it punts on one of Tubi's unique advantages in the streaming landscape for almost no reason at all. Let me explain. With a big public announcement like this, you're probably expecting a long sort of press release about what their goals are and what motivated them to do it. And we've got that right here for you. Chief Product and Technology Officer Mike Bidgoli had something to say on the Tubi side of things. Be prepared, this is a hefty one. And since, listen, they are partnering with an AI company, so I'm gonna go ahead and read this, right? Streaming should feel effortless. And as chatbots and AI agents are becoming a common way that people navigate the internet, Tubi is expanding its discovery experience to meet viewers in the moment they're expressing intent in their own words. At the core of Tubi is a deeply scaled personalization and discovery system trained on more than 1 billion monthly hours of viewing from over 100 million active users. Recent AI breakthroughs are compounding that advantage, enhancing how Tubi interprets intent, reasons over content, and connects viewers to the right titles faster. This launch brings that system into a conversational interface, making it seamless to go from an idea to the perfect match and content rabbit hole. So, obviously, there's a lot to unpack there, right? But it's true. There's some sort of algorithm powering all the discoverability at Tubi, not necessarily generative AI. That content categorization system has some sort of horsepower going on under the hood, but now it's being paired with ChatGPT. A ton of their already existing architecture links titles that you've watched in the past or enjoyed with titles that the system thinks you'll enjoy based on previous behaviors inside of the Tubi ecosystem. But what we're discussing here is a little bit more dubious than all that, right? And that hinges on the first way this weakens Tubi in the competitive marketplace. Namely, Tubi still feels like a smaller entity than something like Netflix or Disney Plus, HBO Max, all those other big name players. And now some of that personality is probably going to get rubbed away. Okay, so hang with me for a second, right? We've all seen the funny Tubi social media posts. They have a ton of snap and usually go down really well with the community. Everybody is there for free streaming TV and movies and jokes about the thrift, going into the catalog for topical posts and titles that respond to current events is just really shrewd operating in social media spaces. Very few main account posts from Tubi get clowned on the way that certain Netflix posts or other big corporation posts on social media tend to get taken apart. The secret to that is having everything feel authentic. Yes, everybody's favorite word on the internet right now, authenticity. This is one of those superpowers that most companies would give anything to secure for themselves, right? ChatGPT conversations, or at least the ones I see represented in other corners of the internet, they aren't getting all that. In fact, a lot of the funniest examples from this genre of writing illustrate just how cold or slightly off the interaction is between you and whatever you're speaking to on the end of this client. I don't know about anybody else, but I wouldn't want movie and TV recommendations from an AI agent. In fact, traditional advertising has taken a similar hit overall, but because I'm a little bit older than your average person that would be using those technologies, I don't mind a commercial here and there or an interview, other avenues to promote shows that fall in line with traditional media. But I can recognize that there are users who would prefer the second method. It still knocks me off my feet that there are users who would prefer this sort of Chat GPT agent based scrolling through Tubi rather than just going and figuring out what you want to watch or hearing about what's on offer from somebody you trust. The list goes on and on. In the same token, that there are those younger viewers that really enjoy that, or other viewers that really enjoy that. Let's not even limit it to age. There are a section of the streaming public that would be turned off by a move like this, right? And that leads us to the second funniest thing about this particular move in the current context. A good number of the viral hits of the last few years were word of mouth juggernauts or inventive ways to revisit old favorites and good old fashioned great projects with good bones that become undeniable over time. This decision blunts one of Tubi's most effective discoverability engines, and that is those out of context clips that you find on social media that immediately sends you to the comments looking for what movie or show this wild clip came from. No one needed to ask the device in their pocket if they needed to go see Project Hail Mary when it came out a couple weeks ago. That's what Reddit threads and other social media platforms are for. Heck, YouTube videos, you're watching one right now, right? In a place like Tubi, with so many options on offer, your personal taste and what you enjoy matters. Roku channel, Pluto TV, and Tubi all have those little kernels of old school curation to them. You can page through the offerings and see what sticks, different categories. Yes, Netflix has those 8 million different funny Spotify looking categories of thrillers and different offshoots and flavors of those things. But you're also not going to get some of the silliest offerings that exist on Tubi that are admittedly a great time and they're free. There's a certain thrill to scrolling through Tubi to find the show that everybody's been talking about or the one that your friend told you to check out when you had some free time one evening. There's still gold in those hills. In a time where everybody and their mother is pushing for analog experiences, Tubi made a decision by partnering with ChatGPT that pushed them further into the realm of artifice that gets raked over the coals for sport on social media every afternoon. Why waste one of your advantages over some of the other streaming platforms? It's legitimately confounding. Still, for the moment, Tubi is partnered with ChatGPT, and we'll have to see where all of this goes. I know I won't be using it, but it is something to discuss as we move forward into the future of free streaming television.